Mga sangkay, eto may balita po patungkol po sa pandemic. Tila baga may kumakaway na naman umano na pandemic. Ang tanong dito mga sangkay, may panibago na naman bang papasok na pandemya kagaya po ng COVID-19? Okay mga sangkay, pag-usapan po natin ito. Kasi nga po nakita ko itong balita mula po sa international news na tila baga mayroon na naman pong, ewan ko kung gaano po ito katotoo mga sangkay, pero tayo na mismo ang mag-judge kung ano ito mga sangkay dahil nga po ibinalita sa international media. Okay? Anyway, bago po tayo magpatuloy mga sangkay, pakicheck po muna sa ibaba kung kayo na po ay nakapag-subscribe at kung hindi pa, i-click nyo po yung subscribe button sa ibaba, tapos i-click nyo po yung bell at i-click nyo po yung all. Ulitin ko, click the subscribe below, click the bell, and click all. Napakadali lamang po niyan mga sangkay. So eto na. Ay nako, medyo nakaka-alarma lamang po ito mga sangkay. Yan po.
Now let's focus on something.
Sabi po dito, itong disease X na kung tawagin, ang World Health Organization umano ay nag-warning for next pandemic as Wuhan, kagaya po ng nangyari doon sa China, yung COVID-19. Ngayon, ano kaya itong disease X?
Something else that kills people. Disease. Specifically, let's talk about what's concerning the World Health Organization. Disease X, the next pandemic. This
Disease X, the next pandemic? Ano kaya ito mga sangkay, no?
isn't a specific disease. It's a warning about the future.
Okay. Kumbaga, hindi pa naman talaga siya tama ba yung pagkakarinig ko? Hindi pa naman talaga siya totally yung tipong kumakalat mga sangkay. Pero, ang sinasabi po dito, ito po ang warning ng World Health Organization para sa magiging future natin. Alam nyo mga sangkay, itong nangyayaring mga kung anong karamdaman na kumakalat sa buong mundo. Wala namang ibang may kasalanan dyan, kundi mga scientist lang din. 'Di ba? Itong mga scientist na nangingialam sa kung ano-ano mang mga bagay na kung saan akala nila magdudulot po ng magandang makakagawa ng gamot. Ang problema, mga sangkay, instead na gamot ang magawa, eto, pandemya ang nalilikha.
The WHO says that another pandemic will definitely come.
Okay. Galing mismo sa WHO, ha?
Disease X, whatever it is, may be worse than the Wuhan virus.
Maybe daw, mas malala po ito sa nangyari sa Wuhan na nangyari din po sa buong mundo.
And the world needs to be prepared. And the WHO is right, because this disease X may not be too far away. In fact, it may be closer and more familiar to us than expected.
Bakit? Ba't nila alam? Ano to? Pinaghahandaan nila? Ano ba? Magpapasabog or what? Ano kayang gagawin mga sangkay?
Earlier this month, the WHO had declared that the Wuhan virus was no longer a public health emergency.
Correct.
But it had warned people not to become complacent. It was still out there, mutating, biding its time. It had the potential to strike back. So could it be that the Wuhan virus has actually returned as the dreaded disease X? Because the cases are rising again.
Kumbaga, tumataas umano ang mga kaso na naman sa COVID-19.
Back where it all began, China. A report.
The annual World Health Assembly is taking place in Geneva. It comes just weeks after the World Health Organization said the Wuhan virus is no longer a public health emergency. That was earlier this month. But at the time, the WHO warned the world not to become complacent.
The worst thing any country could do now is to use this news as a reason to let down its guard, to dismantle the systems it has built, or to send the message to its people that COVID-19 is nothing to worry about.
This week, the WHO issued another warning.
Ito, nagbigay po sila ng panibagong warning mga sangkay. Kumbaga, sinasabi na hindi na po delikado itong COVID-19. Pero, may panibagong warning. Ito na kaya ang sinasabing disease X?
It told the world not to delay the reforms needed to prepare for the next pandemic.
We cannot kick this can down the road. If we do not make the changes that must be made, then who will? And if we do not make them now, and when? When the next pandemic comes knocking, and it will, we must be ready to answer decisively, collectively, and equitably.
Kung nakikita kasi nila yan, mga sangkay, hindi ba dapat hindi ba dapat sila mismo ang humahad lang na ngayon pa lang na hindi magkaroon ng ganyang klase ulit na karamdaman nakakalat sa buong mundo? Instead of warning na magkakaroon ulit ng pandemic na mas malala pa po sa COVID-19?
He said when the next pandemic
Parang ang nangyayari, parang planado ba? Parang ganun mga sangkay, no?
comes knocking, and it will, there's no doubt. The WHO has come up with a designation for the future pathogen, Disease X. We don't know what it is exactly,
Kahit sila, hindi pa nila alam anong ibig sabihin yung Disease X.
where it comes from, where it will strike, but Disease X will cause the next pandemic. And
May pangalan na. Wala lang, nakapagtataka lang mga sangkay dahil ang next pandemic may pangalan na. Ano to, planado ba? Diba? Parang ang advance naman mag-isip, may pangalan na.
it will be even deadlier than the Wuhan virus. It doesn't seem to be on the WHO's radar yet. The agency released this list of priorities. As you can see, Disease X comes in at number 9.
Number 9.
That basically means that even though we don't know what it is, the WHO is keeping its eyes open.
Yan, ito po. Alam nyo mga sangkay, saan nag-umpisa yan? Sa mga laboratory na ganyan. Diyan po yan.
Watching out for any indication that Disease X has arrived. Of course, that may just be too optimistic from the WHO, because Disease X may not be something entirely new. We say this because the Wuhan virus has mutated again, and cases are on the rise. The Wuhan virus is once again going rampant in China.
Okay, sa China, bumabalik ko man itong COVID-19.
Estimates say that by the end of June, China will see as many as 65 million cases per week. This figure was quoted by the country's top respiratory disease expert, Zhong Nanshan. In fact, he said that infections could hit 40 million a week right now.
Grabe
The
naman yun.
variant behind the rise is the XBB. It's another of the endless Omicron subvariants. Chinese state media says XBB has led to 80% of the new infections in China. China's National Health Commission says XBB has greater transmissibility and immune escape than earlier strains of Omicron. The country even recently approved 2 new vaccines targeting XBB. Despite this, China says there's nothing to worry about. State mouthpiece Global Times released this report today. It says there will be limited impact, but believe China at your own risk. The US Department of Health quite clearly doesn't. Its National Institutes of Health, or NIH, released this report yesterday. It says about 10% of those analyzed experienced long-term symptoms or long COVID after 6 months.
Hinihintay ko yung mabanggit nila itong Disease X ng mas klaro, no? Kasi ang napagtataka kasi dito, advance naman mag-isip, may pangalan na, di ba? May pangalan na yung World Health Organization. Kaya nga po, ang daming conspiracy theory na lumalabas. Noon, mga sangkay, ginagawan ko pa yan ng conspiracy theory. Naalala nyo dati, yung COVID-19, galing sa ganito, galing sa ganito. Kaya ang dami pong naglalabasan ng conspiracy theory. Kasi nga, kagaya po nito, masisisi ba natin? Ang advance po mag-isip, may pangalan na. Hihintayin na lang yung pagkakataon. Ano to, planado ba?
These were all Omicron patients. So,
Well, mga sangkay, kung kayong tatanungin, tingin niyo ba planado ito? Kayo mismo ang mag-comment, sumagot, mga sangkay. Kasi, nakakawindang kung iisipin na bagamat hindi pa po nagaganap, hindi pa nga po nila alam daw. Sabi nila, hindi pa nila alam kung ano itong Disease X. But meron na po silang pangalan. So, ano po ang inyong komento, mga sangkay? Tingin nyo ba itong sinasabing Disease X ay talagang planadong pandemic na susunod pagkatapos po nitong pandemya na tinahak po natin? I-comment nyo po sa iba pa ang inyong mga opinion. And now I invite you to please subscribe my YouTube channel, Sangkay Revelation. Ang gawin nyo lamang po, hanapin nyo to sa YouTube. At kapag nakita nyo ng mga sangkay, gawin nyo, i-click ang subscribe, i-click ang bell, at i-click nyo po yung all. So ako na po ay magpapaalam hanggang sa muli. This is me, Sangkay Janjan. Palagi nyo pong tatandaan that Jesus loves you. God bless everyone.